So I recently purchased the last pair of sunglasses Kyle is ever going to need. They're called Maglocks, and they're magnetic sunglasses by Distill Union. You have to check these out. They're magnetized so they stay on your shirt no matter what you're doing. Go to tjritchie.com/deals, code TJ for 20% off.
News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WBT proudly presents America's coolest conservative. Well, proudly could be stretching it a bit. Welcome to the TJ Ritchie Show.
This is it. We made it. Friday. And we are going to light it up tonight. Because it is Friday. It's raining. Weather's terrible. You don't have anything to do. You either sit in your house or sit in your car. Listen to the radio. That's it. You don't want to be going out there. Oh, no, it's too dangerous. Listen, I done been out there. And you know what? It's not good. It's the rain. As if coming into this big dangerous city isn't life-threatening enough every night. Now I got to deal with severe weather and stuff? No. All right, so Friday nights are big around here. It is the Friday cleanup, where we go through and pick up everything through the week that we missed, all the good material and context and all. Content, not context, content. It is also Ladies' Night. Ladies in free before 9 at 704-570-1110 or texting the same number with the WBT text line, driven by Liberty Buick GMC. And it is Ask Me Anything night. Any question you have, whether it's personal or professional, you ask. That doesn't mean I'm going to answer it. But if you ask, you can ask. I can't stop you from that. Also a special night because I have brought my son to work with me tonight. His mom had to go do something, and I had to go to work. I had to bring him with me because I couldn't get a babysitter last minute. Welcome, son.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. He's only 22, so he can't stay by himself. So it's bring your son to work day. Don't tell the WBT high-ups because I didn't get it approved.
Where's his visitor badge?
I just had to escort him in.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's in my last name.
But, they don't. You know how long it took me to get a badge that said that I belonged here, that wasn't just a visitor badge?
How long?
Probably the second week I was on the air.
You had to get scanned in the first few nights?
Yeah. I mean, if you go back and look at the log on the front desk out there and look up that time frame, my name's on it every day. Like I must be the super fan coming to visit every day. But if they go back and look at the cameras of when we walked in earlier, they're going to look like my son is having a party in here with us tonight. Because Isaac had done some extra stuff for me, and since I don't get paid, I can't pay him. And I brought him a. Is it okay? Your parents know?
Yeah.
Okay, I brought him a case of beer. Now you know I keep up with the young people and what the young people like, and it's very trendy now for the young people to drink Busch Light beer. I know, who would have thought? I was with a young person the other night, and he ordered a Busch Light draft at a restaurant.
Classy.
And started going on and on about how great it is. Not just because it's cheap, because it's not that cheap anymore.
No, it's not. It used to be better before everybody. I was on this early before everybody hopped on the trend.
Yeah.
Not to brag.
So it was only, I think, $2 a case cheaper than good beer like Miller Lite.
Ooh, easy.
Well, I mean, the fancy beer, Miller Lite. but they like it. That's the point. They don't just drink it because it's cheap. You know, when I was college age and whatnot, the cheap beer that everybody would drink was Old Milwaukee's Best, and Old Milwaukee's Best Light. And it tasted like cheap beer. I mean, it was not good. But Busch was always on that, not quite as cheap as that, but now it's done gotten up there. Marketing or something. The TikToks, I bet that's what it is. They started drinking it on the TikToks.
Back in the college days, I had a gas station I would go to, and I could get 18 tall boys for $12.99.
Whoa.
Yeah.
18 of them. Wait, somebody wants my opinion on something serious here. I don't want to do that.
On a Friday? Talk about Busch Light.
On the Mark Levin show, he will always talk about, just because it's Friday, we're not slowing up. We keep our foot on the gas pedal. He calls it gas. For some reason, he pronounces it with a Z. We're keeping our foot on the gas. And I'm like, why? Dude, I'm putting my foot at least on the clutch. Slowing down a little bit. But it is going to be and I don't know if, because last Friday was so good and so much fun, that if it's like you had just an impromptu get together that was great, and then when you try to recreate it, it never is the same. It's like, that wasn't as fun as it was when it just happened. So I don't know whether tonight's going to be as good as last Friday. But then again, that's not up to me. That's up to you, John and Joan Q11 listeners. Just like with ratings, if I ever had low ratings, which that's never happened, but if I were to ever have low ratings, it would not be my fault. It would be your fault for not listening. That's one way that I am like a Democrat. If they lose elections, they're like, well, it's nothing we did. They blame it on other people. Or when Alabama loses a football game. Ooh, that came out of nowhere, didn't it? They always make excuses.
The refs.
Yeah, it's the refs. And
We weren't at home. It's always that.
And you remember that time they got me because LSU beat them, and then their excuse was, well, yeah, but it was only reason is because we couldn't make field goals. Yeah, that's part of the game.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get in a trash talking contest, LSU and Alabama fans, because they've beaten LSU way more than LSU has beaten them. So they've always got that. So you see, we're talking about anything and everything tonight, as opposed to most nights when I stay focused like a laser on the topics at hand. So what we do on Cleanup Friday is we go and because I pull so many interesting things every night to play for you to have analysis of and all of that. So never do I have time to get to all of it. So on Fridays we go back and pick up all of the stuff that I didn't have time to do. It's not secondary quality. It's just as high of quality as what I've done. It's just that it may not have fit at the time and all, So it wasn't as the kids say, vibing in the right spot on whatever night I pulled it to play. And, if you think that it's just because I didn't want to sit down and do a lot of research today, and I figured out a way to do a show that could be entertaining and all without having to do any work leading up to it, then you would be mistaken. That's not the case at all. Because I worked hard today. I went to brunch with my wife. Then we took her car to the shop, took a nap, and then I came here. So that's a lot of work I put in today. So actually, like I said, tonight's show is up to you as to whether or not it's going to work. So you need to be participatory. Isaac, that's the adjective form of participate.
I'm going to write that down. Thank you. On my note cards.
Okay, good. All right, so we have phone calls lined up, ready to go. We have texts that have already come in. People have just been waiting for me to get on the air so they could start coming up in here. All right, remember it's ladies' night. Ladies in free before 9. We'll get it all started next.
More of the TJ Ritchie Show is coming up on News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WBT.
So I recently purchased the last pair of sunglasses Kyle is ever going to need. They're called Maglocks, and they're magnetic sunglasses by Distill Union. You have to check these out. They're magnetized so they stay on your shirt no matter what you're doing. Go to tjritchie.com/deals, code TJ for 20% off.
Hear the TJ Ritchie Show every weeknight at 7 Eastern. Stream it live at tjritchie.com or listen later as a podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or My Media Center at tjritchie.com. You'll be so glad you did, hopefully. That's tjritchie.com.
He's radio royalty in the Carolinas and Queen Charlotte's sweetest prince. It's TJ Ritchie on News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WBT.
All right, we are underway with the Friday festivities. The Friday cleanup, the ladies' night, ladies in free before 9, 704-570-1110, text and call. And there was something else, wasn't it? No, maybe not. Maybe that's all we got. Oh, ask me anything. That was the main thing. Ask me anything. It's the main thing because it's about me. Okay. So we had Ricky called and wanted to know my opinion about legislation that would take away property taxes in North Carolina like they have in Florida. Simple answer to that, whatever they have in Florida, I want. It's my dream to live in Florida. And it's a dream that's a little bit more unreachable now than it used to be, but I still have it nonetheless. So whatever North Carolina can do to make itself more like Florida while I'm living here, I'm for it. And then another fella asked, because my son's here tonight, if Aiden is allowed to get tattoos. Well, since he's a grown man, he can do whatever he wants. Now, when he was younger, I would have said no. When he was living under my roof, as they say, I don't like, I wouldn't want him to have tattoos. But you're not a tattoo person.
No.
You decide on your own you don't want a tattoo.
Not for me.
Have you ever seen one at all that looked like, well, maybe if I got one, that's what it would be?
No, and especially if you see a woman in a dress.
Oh, yeah.
What about like a small face tat?
Maybe.
Yeah.
So yeah, you don't like when a woman wears a sundress or something. You don't like the tattoos like on the shoulders.
You see wings coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look, y'all get upset, but I mean, everybody's got an opinion about what they like and what they don't like. We got this. Hello, TJ. This is on the WBT text line. Hello, TJ. Since you're blaming liberals all the time, don't you think it sounds gay for calling another fellow handsome? In your morning show, you always refer to one of your friends as handsome husband Michael. And then he thought about it and goes, Jenny. Yeah, I always refer to mine and my wife's best friends as my little friend Jenny, because she's tiny, and her handsome husband Michael. Couple of things. He is handsome. She is little. But they do a lot of stuff with us that is part of the show. And it's a radio technique that I use so that people will remember them and they can identify with them quickly. And it works because I'm a radio expert, because they are out all the time and they're just regular citizens, and they'll be out eating dinner or something, and people will call them little friend Jenny and handsome husband Michael. It's what we call in the business character definition. Again, I am a radio scholar and expert. The other thing is that you can say that another man is handsome without being gay. You sound gay. Gay. So I guess it says good looking would be an appropriate description, don't you think? No. No, it doesn't flow, you see. Good looking husband, Michael. See, I'm in the radio business. Handsome husband, Michael. See how it flows better when you say it than good looking husband, Michael? Also, here's another tip for you. If you're trying to say something and you're going to exaggerate and you're trying to be funny, odd numbers are funnier than even numbers. Like if you want to say that you got really drunk last night because you drank a bunch of beer, it's funnier to say, oh, man, I had 57 beers last night, rather than to say, I had 50 beers last night. I hope y'all are writing these down. This could help you in life. But it's like, because I asked if this was a disgruntled liberal that gets mad at me for blaming liberals for everything. He said, obviously not. I'm not a liberal. What? Doesn't it? Obviously not. Because it sounded like you were taking up for liberals. So now I'm wondering, is that a guy who's thinking that if you say that another man is handsome, that you're gay? Or if it's a woman? I wonder if it's a handsome guy who's saying it. I mean, like a really ruggedly delicious looking guy. I mean, is he bulging out on his muscles and all muscly and strong, strapping, working those glutes in the gym every day? I wonder. Because that'd be great, you know. Okay, so it's a lady taking advantage of the ladies getting in free before 9. Here's Liz. Hey, Liz, what's going on?
Hi, TJ.
Hi.
Nothing's going on. I'm driving for work, and I'm old. Not old. I'm grown up.
Yeah.
And I've never gotten a tattoo.
Uh-huh.
I'm a fan of things. When I was younger, I was a fan of Madonna.
Yeah.
And I am grateful today that I never got anything associated with Madonna inked because she says some stupid stuff.
Yeah, she does. She's a nut. Well, I at one time was considering, when I was young, I was considering getting a tattoo. My roommate's uncle was the best tattoo artist in the whole area where I lived in Louisiana. And he said he would give each one of us whatever tattoo we wanted and he wouldn't charge us. So I really started thinking about it. I was all into the hair bands at that time and all that stuff. And
Right.
I was talking to my grandfather about it, and he said, well, I wish you wouldn't go get a tattoo like that. And I said, well, it won't be that bad, Papa, because I'll probably get it where nobody can see it. And he goes, all right, well, if you're going to put it where nobody can see it, doesn't that kind of defeat the purpose? Does that mean you really don't want it if you don't want people to see it? And I said, well, I guess it does. So I never got it. And now, that was in my early 20s, I guess. Mm-hmm. And from that point on, I have remained completely flawless.
Yes.
And I'll be flawless when they pat me in the face with a shovel.
I wonder how, I drove for Uber for 5 years, and I saw lots of people. And some of the tattoos, they're just stupid. They're just, why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Yeah, and I don't dislike them all. I mean, I see people sometimes, and I think, oh, that looks good. There was a guy that I saw just the other day. He came to give us a price on some work that we needed done. And he was a very, very handsome Latino man. Mm-hmm. And he had tattoos on his forearms and stuff, and they looked really good. I don't hold anything against people who do have tattoos. It's just never been my style. I also don't like jewelry on a man. I'm not a big fan of men wearing jewelry, and Isaac's blazing a necklace all the time. So just different strokes. I don't mind.
It's just
strokes.
Sometimes it's a little off-putting.
Yeah,
but I don't mind.
Okay. Well, Liz, thank you very much for calling. I really appreciate it. Thanks for listening too.
Happy Friday.
Thanks. Have a good weekend. Right. Look at that. See, we're kind on this show. We don't insult people, especially Mr. Handsome out there. All right, hang on. More coming up next.
The TJ Ritchie Show on News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WBT.
Hear the TJ Ritchie Show every weeknight at 7 Eastern. Stream it live at tjritchie.com or listen later as a podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or My Media Center at tjritchie.com. You'll be so glad you did, hopefully. That's tjritchie.com.
He's America's coolest conservative. Welcome to the TJ Ritchie Show on News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WBT.
As if there weren't enough things going on tonight, it's also National Girlfriend Day. I can't remember. Andrew, you got a girlfriend? You don't. That's right. Okay, so I'm the only one in the room right now that's not supposed to have a girlfriend. So you think they mean it's National Girlfriend Day, like where you're supposed to celebrate your romantic partner, or Girlfriend Day, like women are supposed to celebrate each other if they're friends? I think it's probably celebrate each other, because what are women always wanting? Isaac, do you remember my lesson? Women always want what?
Trinkets.
Trinkets, that's right. So if they're celebrating Girlfriend Day with their friends, they're giving each other trinkets. But if it were that's right. So if you celebrate Girlfriend Day as in a boyfriend celebrating his girlfriend, then you cut half the women out of, or more than that, you cut a bunch of the women out of getting trinkets because they're married. You see? So husbands can't give wives trinkets on Girlfriend Day. So they have to make it Girlfriend Day where it's all women. No women get left out. You see? If you ponder this stuff enough, you'll figure it out. This is what I've learned. All right. So this is not a Friday cleanup thing. This is something new in the news that happened. Oh wait, we're not doing that yet, are we? Hold on. I'm all messed up here. Oh, this is something that happened earlier in the week. And I just thought that this was hilarious. I don't really have any serious political analysis for it. I just think Senator Cory Booker from New Jersey is a clown. I think he's probably the biggest clown in the Senate. Like the guy that should be laughed at the most, because he tries so hard. Bless his heart. Cory Booker tries so hard to be cool, and he tries so hard for people to take him seriously that he just goes over the top. He's like the world's worst overactor. You know, when he gets upset and his eyes start bulging and and he acts like he's about to explode, and you know it's all fake. It's like a Saturday Night Live sketch, actually. Back when Saturday Night Live was still funny, it was like that. But this is from this week where Cory Booker's, I guess he was trying to give a pep talk to the Democrats or something. Listen.
The Democratic Party needs a wake-up call. I see law firms bending a knee to this president not caring about the larger principles, that those free speech rights, that you could take on any client, why are you bending the knee? I see universities that should be bastions of free speech bending at the knee to this president. I see businesses taking late night talk show hosts off the air because they dare to insult a president. I see people who want mergers suddenly think that they have to pay tribute to this president.
All right, right there, Paramount should be hitting him with a lawsuit. He did not say allegedly, taking him off the air allegedly for criticizing the president. He said they took him off the air for criticizing the president. Boom. Cory Booker, you have been served. But it's just so ridiculous. Taking away free speech at universities, where they should be a bastion of free speech. Until somebody says something about Israel is not conducting a genocide. Now I wonder if Cory Booker would think that should be protected speech. They always pull out these things and they'll give the little snippet of it because they know that their voters are usually not as in tune with what's going on for real, and that they fall for these sorts of things. Just like when they say that MAGA is banning books, book banning, to make it sound like it's from the olden days where they don't want you reading anything but religious books and those types of things. When the books that they're banning, anybody with any decency whatsoever would say, no, kids don't need to be reading those books or having those books read to them. Those graphic sex books and all of that kind of stuff that they've gotten taken out of the school libraries and stuff. But again, they know that their friends in the media won't follow up and ask them, well, what books have been banned? What do you mean the book banning? Which books? The ones that they won't even allow parents to read aloud at a school board meeting because they're too offensive. All right, but it's okay for the kids to read them. You see, Cory Booker just needs to put on a red nose and a wig. I mean, he is funny. I wonder how many times he rehearses his little speeches in the mirror before he says, all right, I'm coming out today. Because, he just did that big filibuster thing and nobody knew why he was filibustering, what he was filibustering. He just set the record for the longest filibuster and then acted like, he had just scored the winning touchdown for the Super Bowl. He was a hero looking for the other Democrats to carry him out of there on their shoulders. He wasn't talking about anything. He's just a weirdo. And I think he used to pretend to be in a relationship with some actress, like a well-known actress. Was it Michelle?
Was it Sweeney?
No, it was Michelle Rodriguez, maybe. Let me look it real quick. Or if I had a staff, they could Google it. What? Hold on, I don't even know what to ask. What star did Cory Booker? Y'all already found it? Nope. Date. It was, I'm sorry, Rosario Dawson. He pretended to like her. And some people, I'm not saying this, some people said that he was using her as a beard. Again, I didn't say that. Some people said it. If you don't know, a beard is when a gay man pretends to like a woman so people won't think that he's gay.
Does he also call them in handsome?
Yeah, probably. But again, I'm not saying that. But some people said. I don't know who some people are, but some people, who some people are. They're out there. So, got a lot going on. 1110 with the 704 area code. Which used to be my nickname, by the way. People call me Mr. 704. Back when I was rapping. 704-570-1110. Ladies, get in free before 9. Doesn't mean guys can't participate, because you can, because you know where the ladies are going to be. Right here. More next.
It's TJ Ritchie on News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WBT.
So I know you've heard me talk about Eric Javits hats that I've purchased in the past, but I'm telling you, they have the cutest bags. I just got the mini duffel in bronze, and I also want it in silver. It's regular $375, and I'm here to tell you it's final sale. It is on sale, and with code TJ, it's way under $100. You're not going to be disappointed. Go to tjritchie.com/deals, code TJ for 21% off, and shop it up, because that code will get you some good deals. So there's a reason that the Dewdrops are the #1 seller in the Love Into skincare line. They're my absolute favorite if I'm dry, dull, just need a little pick-me-up during the day, which a lot of times I do. The other day I was in the car line picking up Delilah from kindergarten, and I just was feeling dry and dull. I put some on, and when I got to the space to pick her up, the teacher that opened the door said, "Lindsay, your skin looks amazing." I said, "Oh my God, thank you." It's the Love Into Dewdrops. Go to tjritchie.com/deals, code TJ for 21% off.
Radio, podcasts, and cool social media content. Get all the TJ you can handle at WBT.com/TJ. Now, back to the TJ Ritchie Show on News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WBT.
Oh, man, it's Friday night, so we are on fire. Acting all silly and crazy up in here, like you're not supposed to do on this type of radio station. But you know what? I happen to disagree. And I would say that even if the management people weren't out of town and not listening tonight. But since they are, then I say it even louder. All right, so here we go. It's got my man, 2Dub, on the phone.
What's up, brother?
What's going on?
So, ironically, I thought I just had to call in. I hadn't talked to you in a while. I have a 22-year-old son who's with me in my vehicle, and we're on a road trip from Lake Wiley to Ashe County. Lake Wiley's my home.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to my childhood home to hang out with my son for the weekend and visit my folks. So I just thought I had to.
Oh, that's cool.
chime in. So you got your son in studio.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I kind of had the same thing with my 22-year-old. Now, I'm only 52. I know you're 55.
Yeah, I know. I would have been picking on you in school, so, you know. No.
So
but, yeah,
anyway,
those things, those moments, you got to seize them, you know, even when the kids are older, because, you know, it's a completely different relationship. You know, I always used to say, I don't want my kids to grow up. I want them to stay little. But then each stage of growth, you develop a different type of relationship with them, and we just went a few weeks ago to Atlanta for the weekend to see the Braves, and he acts like he doesn't mind hanging out with me, so that's okay.
Yeah, well, I thought that was cool.
What's your son's name?
There, and my son, Matthew.
All right, well, tell Matthew I said hey, and y'all have a good time.
All right, I have my earbuds on. Matthew, say hey, TJ. Hey.
Oh, I heard him.
All right.
Cool. Thank you very much, man. Y'all have fun.
I appreciate it. Thanks. Bye.
I bet Matthew treats his dad a lot better than you treat yours.
Sorry.
I had to promise him a new video game to get him to come to me.
And a big old lollipop.
Yeah. I get him a big lollipop. How about some bubble gum? Oh, love that. Isaac, I know you've told me about 15 times that you got something ready to go there.
Is it time?
if you want it to be time, it can be time. Now, do you want to do the DJ thing and talk it all the way to the post? You think you can do that?
I'll leave that to the pros. I just click buttons.
So you say yeah or no?
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 You got it.
All right. So this is our Friday night theme song. It's Isaac's favorite part of the week. It's the only time that he doesn't mind working here is during this little segment. He loves that he's picking up some R&B flavor from it.
I've been living for the weekend, but no, not anymore. 'Cause here comes that familiar feeling that Friday's famous for. Yeah, I'm looking for some action, and it's out there somewhere. You can feel the electricity all in the evening air.
Feel it, feel it.
And it may just be more of the same.
Where you want to go?
But sometimes you want to go where everyone knows your name. So I guess I'll have to wait and see. But I'm just gonna let something brand new happen to
All
me.
right, come on, let's go.
And it's alright, it's alright, it's alright, it's alright, it's alright. Bright lights every city belongs to us tonight.
All right, well, that's good. Somebody asked why we don't play the whole song, and because the rest of the song starts talking about Saturday, so it's not applicable to Friday. So you see, you got to pay attention to details in this radio game that we play.
What was that that word you used?
Applicable.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was.
Thanks.
I'm add that to the list.
Mm-hmm. You know, if you'll go to dictionary.com, they have a word of the day every day that you could learn.
As soon as I figure out how to spell dictionary, I'm going to do that.
Word of the day on dictionary.com and thesaurus.com. Now, I don't rely on that because, I mean, I have vast vocabulary, obviously. But, I mean, if you're, just learning to expand your vocab, then you can do that. I think somebody was saying that my sweet, majestic queen, member of the Congressional Congress, House of Representatives, Jazzy Crockett, needed to expand her vocabulary. I think not. She's perfect just the way she is. This is a quick thing I just saw, and I don't know how many people can relate to this, but if you can have sympathy pains for somebody, this may be a lady that you would have that for. A woman was hit with with huge medical bills after a bat landed on her face and crawled into her mouth while she screamed. So the bat lands on her face, she screams, and the bat goes in her mouth. And evidently it gave her some kind of something. Maybe it choked her. Maybe it got lodged in there or something. Boy, that's not fun for a Friday, is it? I'll tell you what. Ugh. All right, so we're not doing TJ on the news because we got the Friday cleanup going on, and it's too important. But some other questions here on Ask Me Anything Day. Have you gotten in trouble with the bosses because somebody didn't get your sense of humor? That's from Bobby. No, not yet. But I'm sure I will. I'm sure I'll have to be standing in somebody's office one day and go, what? Obviously, I was joking. Like the whole thing that I went into last night about how I'm going to take over everything in radio, and I'm here to stay, and I'll be on the radio station every time you turn it on. I'll be doing every show. And then I may have given a wicked laugh or something. That was all joking. But then whenever it was over, it was the last segment last night, right?
It was.
Whenever it was over, Isaac was looking at me like he had just seen a ghost. He thought I was serious and that I had flipped out.
Allegedly, it was a joke.
Right. But I was just hoping that none of the other hosts heard that or started going around that I had said that, taking it out of context. Because I don't want them to know that I'm taking over the whole radio station. I mean, you can't prepare somebody for that. And until it happens, I want to, still be cordial and have a good working relationship with them. So then somebody was like, well, which show are you going to take over first? I was like, I don't know. I'm just kidding, Bo and Beth. How would I know that? If it's just all a joke, Brett Winterble. So, all of that. All right, this is fun. This is some fun. And I don't know, maybe you can text in, and if I'm upsetting a lot of people because I'm not talking about the issues as much, with my brilliant pinpoint political analysis delivered with wit and southern charm, then you can let me know on that too. 704-570-1110. We have a bunch more coming up in the second hour. Hang on.
More of the TJ Ritchie Show is coming up on News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WBT.
Hear the TJ Ritchie Show every weeknight at 7 Eastern. Stream it live at tjritchie.com or listen later as a podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or my media center at tjritchie.com. You'll be so glad you did, hopefully. That's tjritchie.com.
News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WBT proudly presents America's coolest conservative. Well, proudly could be stretching it a bit. Welcome to the TJ Ritchie Show.
Oh, yeah. Ramming, jamming, slamming on a Friday. It's Friday cleanup. Ask Me Anything. And ladies' night. Ladies in free before 9 at 704-570-1110. Calling or texting the WBT text line driven by Liberty Buick GMC. All right, so we are cleaning up and going back and picking up all of the stuff that I didn't have time to get to, all of the top quality material that I just didn't have time to get to earlier in the week. But this is something new. This is one thing that of import, great import, that that needed to be discussed tonight. It is involving the situation in Cincinnati where the white man and white woman were beaten down in the streets by a mob of black people, which happened last weekend. They have made 6 arrests, I believe is what they said. And I've also seen some things that they got, they're getting out on like a really low bail bond, But the mayor of Cincinnati was answering some questions today. And he's a Democrat, obviously. And I think he's Indian, and his dad's from India. His mom is from Tibet. He was born in the United States, though. But he was taking questions from the reporter, and the question was, have you talked to the victims of the beatdown? And this is what he said.
I have not. Look, again, this was a fight. It was a horrific fight. But as council member and others have said, we have significant other public safety challenges. We have children who are far too often the victims of gun violence. We have oftentimes far too often the perpetrators of gun violence being children. We have violent crime like every other major city across the nation that requires our attention and our bandwidth. And so I don't traditionally meet or speak to every victim of violent crime in our city, and that's consistent with my approach today.
Okay, so that is Democrat politician speak. But thank God you have me here to translate for you. This is the translation. Man, those white. That's what he was really saying. Because I'm just kidding with him, because I know he'd be the same way. He would not be contacting the victims or their families or anything if the roles were reversed, and the racists were switched. He wouldn't be calling the other ones and trying to make contact with them and assuring them that the people were going to be brought to justice and all of that. So he did a couple of things in there, though, that he used the term bandwidth. That's not, our bandwidth. Isn't that kind of stupid to say? And the other thing was that he knew he was going to get that question. So he took that opportunity to throw in another little, Democrat jab about gun violence. You have children who are victims of gun violence. See, they never stop working. Democrats don't. They never stop working. But essentially, that's what he was saying in the thing. Like, I'm not talking to those white people. I don't want anybody to think that I am playing any type of favorites to those white people, because I want to win again here in Cincinnati when I run. So I'm not talking to those white people. And if that's not what he meant, he's free to come on the show anytime and tell us what he meant by what he said. So is that movie, what is that Furious 5? What's it called? The superhero movie that's out right now? Which one?
The Fantastic Four.
Yeah, Fantastic Four. That's still the number one movie, right?
Yeah, probably.
This is my son I'm talking to. He's here tonight because we couldn't find a babysitter. And you went to see that with your friends.
Yeah.
Now, you're not against superhero movies and all that like I am.
Not as badly. Recently, the more I've grown up, yeah.
Mm. And so they wanted to go, you just went along with them?
Yeah, I had nothing to do.
And it wasn't good, huh?
No, not at all.
Now, have you liked any of the previous ones?
No.
Tell them what was different about this one. But don't spoil the ending or anything.
Yeah. They made a male character a woman.
Yeah, somebody that's always a male character, they turned it into a woman.
Turned into a woman. A lot of, they had a big segment about saving power.
Like environmental stuff. Okay. Well.
And it was mainly just like women are better than men in every way.
Mm-hmm.
Ideology.
Yeah.
None of my friends picked up on it. Well, I definitely did.
Because all of your friends are godless liberals.
Yeah.
I mean, I've known them since they were little, but yeah. Except that one friend you got in New York that listens to this show every night. Does he listen live or does he get the podcast of it?
He'll listen live.
Mm-hmm.
Probably listen right now.
You want to shout him out, as you kids say.
Shout out Tucker.
Hey, the Tucker in New York City.
Yeah.
Only conservative in New York. Ah, that's cool. But you don't recommend the Furious 4 or whatever it's called?
No, not if you're like an adult.
Or you are conservative minded at all.
Yeah.
That's good.
Have you heard about the new Batman movie?
Yeah, I've heard about it.
I haven't.
Yeah. It's the wokest yet, I think. They just
Really?
completely
Yeah, it's like Aztec Batman.
Oh.
Yeah. But I guess all 11 listeners can hear that I don't really need a paternity test to see if this is my son. Now, his sister, she's 25. She lives in Nashville, and she would recognize the same things, but she's so sweet she would never say it because she wouldn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. She would have the same feelings about it, but not say it because, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. And I don't know where she gets that because her mama will hurt people's feelings all the time, especially mine. But I did think I was going to need a paternity test when my son was little because he liked Star Wars. And I was like, come on. I'm America's coolest conservative. We don't like that nerd stuff. He's like, yeah, I like it, Dad. Ugh. But he grew out of it, thank goodness. Because he didn't want to be a little 9-year-old homeless. That's why. All right, hang on, more coming up.
The TJ Ritchie Show on News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WBT.
Have you seen these awesome glasses TJ's daughter Lainey found? They're called Aquila, and they're 10% off when you use code TJ at checkout at aquila.la and the deals page at tjritchie.com.
Bringing the heat.
Oh, hot, hot,
hot. Whatever that means. This is the TJ Ritchie Show on News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WBT.
704-570-1110 is the number. Texting and calling, whatever you want to do. Whichever you would like to do. Now, I've been talking about my philosophy that we need to start denaturalizing people and deporting them. If they are from a foreign land, even if they have become citizens by naturalization, they need to be denaturalized. If they are from a country and they come here and try to downgrade America and protest against America and talk crap against America with plans of doing America harm, they shouldn't have the protection of a guest pass if they're going to be here to try to take away our culture and our way of life. And obviously, some people were like, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. We allow people citizenship here as a gift. And because if they are here and they are eligible to become naturalized citizens, then that's because we think that they're here to help America in some way or another, help the United States. And this is where I broke it down, where there's a difference between a citizen and an American. So, having said all that, somebody else had a suggestion that was just as good, and that is that we should start deporting liberal women. All of them. Because this is the clip that we had earlier in the week where ICE is making an arrest at a Home Depot in California. And this one liberal woman in her Lululemon workout clothes is yelling, cussing at the ICE agents and trying to get them to stop what they're doing with their job. And then some other liberal women come up there and just make a big scene, making it harder for the ICE agents. This is what it sounded like.
Don't fucking push me. You're taking him before I can take a phone number from him?
You need to stop.
You need to stop pinning
hold on.
people off the fucking street.
Oop. Okay, I don't think that's edited enough. Okay, we good?
Yeah, we're good.
All right. How'd that happen?
I think I.
What?
I thought I had the edited version over here, but I'm not sure that
I think that is edited. It's just not edited to our scale of being edited.
Yeah.
I mean, it's legal, but
right.
We like to do more here at WBT than what is just legal.
Unfortunately, I dumped it, so they don't even understand what we're saying right now. But it was.
They
good.
didn't hear any of it. No. All right.
no.
So we started playing the thing, and it wasn't edited enough, and there was some. You could make out what the cussing was, even though it was edited where they didn't say it. It was too close. So because we are of such high moral standards here on this show, we killed it. And you just got to figure, if it's a liberal woman in California, all she was doing was cussing. Trash mouth, smut mouth, whatever. But anyway, go back to the idea of deporting liberal women. And if they were born here in U.S. America, then just let them pick what country they want to go to. If they came from somewhere else, then they'll go back to their country of origin. But, I mean, they can even pick a tropical paradise if they want. But they cause too much trouble in U.S. America. The liberal women do. Because if it weren't for liberal women, we wouldn't even know who Hillary Clinton is. We wouldn't have had to go through all of that. Or Kamala Harris. She would have never even been close if it weren't for liberal women. Okay, so maybe let's take a chance. Has that thing reset itself? Because when you hit a delay system, it has to reset. They call it rebuild. All right, so let's try another one with a liberal woman who is cussing a lot, but I think this has been properly edited, or I hope so. She just hates America. Listen.
I'm so unbelievably sick and tired of this country. And then people on top of that saying, well, if you don't like it, you should just leave. I would, but guess what? It takes money, and this country is useless, so now we're all stuck in debt. Do you hear that? It's called common sense. It's knocking on your brain. The big beautiful bill / Project 2025, which quite literally are the exact same thing. I'm so tired of keeping my mouth shut. I'm not doing it anymore. Whether this gets views or not, you need to listen. Physically educate yourself. And if you're not educated, go back to school. Project Esther is now a thing. And if you don't know what it is, look it up. I will hopefully be making another video once I get all of my facts and things in order, but oh my God, I hate America.
I hate America is what she said. Well, you are Project Jester is what you are. Because you're a joke. God bless her heart. I mean, she's young. I like to maybe give her a benefit of the doubt and think she'll learn a little better. But when they're that smug and that sure of themselves, and they're so wrong. Oh,
and that accent.
And you know what else she was doing, son? You know how on a lot of times I'm talking about things on social media, and I don't know that the 11 listeners know what I'm talking about because, most people my age don't sit and look at social media all the time like I do, but I only do it for show content. But you know that trend now when women are being all sassy and cussing and making a point, talking crap on the social medias where they'll put their fingers with those long acrylic nails up and start gesturing with it like they're working a puppet or something when they're talking.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate that. That is one of the biggest pet peeves I have ever seen on social media. And she was doing that. She had, she was waiting to make this video until she got back from getting her nails done. That's how passionate she really was about it. And then you can also see when they're going on and they'll make these little jump cuts in it where they can't complete more than one sentence at a time without stopping the camera and regrouping and then cutting it back on and on. So it defeats, their purpose of trying to sound informed and fluent in political speak. But listen, if you got a daughter or a girlfriend or a wife that has those long acrylic nails and she uses them like she puts all the fingertips together in the camera and gestures with it as if she's working a puppet. Get them to stop that, because that's going to lead them to nowhere good. But you never see them doing that if their nails aren't freshly done. So it's all a plan, and they're doing it consciously to say, ooh, I like the way that girl did it, so this is going to make the point better. Or it may just be that it's a way of talking with their hand, which gives them more talking, which is what a woman is always looking for. More talking. So when the mouth is talking and the hand is, and the fingernails are talking at the same time, it equals more talking. Talking and trinkets, that's what women are always on the lookout for. Even the good ones. Even the good ones. All right. We're going to see if we have any more of these leftover clips from the week that we'll have to use the delay/dump button for, so we don't get in trouble. Coming up next.
It's TJ Ritchie on News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WBT.
Hear the TJ Ritchie Show every weeknight at 7 Eastern. Stream it live at tjritchie.com or listen later as a podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or My Media Center at tjritchie.com. You'll be so glad you did, hopefully. That's tjritchie.com.
Late, live, and local. It's the TJ Ritchie Show on News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WBT.
Oh, the Friday cleanup. Plus ladies' night, plus Ask Me Anything. What you got? What you got? We've been talking about this American Eagle ad all week with Sydney Sweeney, the young actress. I don't think she's as young as she looks. Isn't she in her 30s now? Is she 30-something? Isaac, you're supposed to know. You don't want to.
You watch your mouth. She's 27 years old.
27, okay. But yeah, she did the thing about the commercial for jeans, and then they said jeans, Jeans, and she has blonde hair, blue eyes. They said she has great genes, and then the liberal lunatics took it and said that that's Nazi propaganda, eugenics, blah 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 blah. So part of the reason that they got, and we went through, almost all the reasons last night that a lunatic liberal would be upset, but I don't know if we covered this one, and I meant to. It's because lunatic liberals they have become accustomed to the celebration of the unattractive. The body positivity, some people call it an assault on beauty. And the sheer fact that Sydney Sweeney is pretty and everybody thinks that she's gorgeous, and she does have beautiful features, that their world is falling apart. They don't know how to handle it. Because, that whole everybody's beautiful routine is not realistic. It's not real life. But it's part of the fantasy world that liberals and their narcissism think is that they deserve. They deserve to be catered to in every way. And if because they're jealous or because they feel like that they are left behind because someone is attractive and they think they're not, then you can't do it. You're supposed to be promoting ugliness. Now, the fact that Sydney Sweeney is white just adds to that. But I think a lot of the people who are so upset are upset because they they thought that they were home free now, and the beautiful hasn't been celebrated and isn't going to be celebrated as much anymore or at all. So just notice, you see commercials all the time. How often do you see a commercial where someone is in the commercial and being focused on because of their beauty? You don't. But American Eagle says they're not apologizing. Because why should they? Why should they apologize? They made a commercial. It's true that people's genes determine what color their eyes are and what hair color they have and so forth and so on, their size. And Sydney Sweeney has big boob genes. And from what I understand, they focused on that, and they always focus on that with her. Just like they always did with Marilyn Monroe and with Dolly Parton and women throughout time, and said, well, we have grown as a society. And then they say, well, we did talk about this, the male gaze. They're promoting the male gaze. Like they don't want men looking at women like that. That's always the ugly women that say it. I'm sorry. The women who don't present themselves in an attractive way.
Well-fed women.
Yeah. People who, that was not my son. People who, they always say, well, I present as, when you're talking about, transgenderism, now they say she presents as a woman, or she presents as what do you call it? Non-binary. I present male. Okay, well then, Sydney Sweeney hasn't done anything wrong. But if you have a group of people who have been conditioned to hate for some reason or another that is, irrational, okay, I'm going to hate her because she's beautiful. And you can, jump out and say you're so offended all you want to. So offended because it's eugenics, and they're saying that the best way to be beautiful is to have blonde hair and blue eyes and be European looking and blah, 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 blah. Just because you're offended doesn't mean you're right. Remember that. You're wrong. You're wrong and jealous. And it's still going on. When I'm sitting here in this studio every night, there are 4 TV screens hanging from the wall to monitor, news and things like that. And just a few minutes ago, crawl across the bottom of the screen, the big news, still talking about Sydney Sweeney, American Eagle. And American Eagle has, there's no way they should apologize because they have really scored this week. There are people who've been going to American Eagle that didn't even know it was still open this week. And you're also going to get a lot of people going to buying American Eagle stuff just to support them now. But if American Eagle comes out and apologizes, then they're really going to lose what they've gained and even more. Because you cannot feed these people. You cannot feed their irrational emotions. Because as soon as you do and you validate them, then the whole society is lost. They need to be told, you're being irrational, you're acting like a maniac, you're a freak, if you really believe that is so offensive because it's Hitlerian, then then you need help and you need to sit down because you're over the edge. And to be honest with you, if somebody is that off kilter, you know, the ones who really believe it, not the ones who are just trying to, you know, they don't really believe it, but they're just trying to stir up stuff because they're liberals and media people and all that. But if they really believe, and like we had those clips of the women crying because they're so scared now because it's eugenics, it's Nazism, it's the whole thing. If they really believe that, then they don't need to be out in society with innocent people who have, the proper brains. They should at least be forced to check in somewhere for a little bit, at least for an evaluation, because you're nuts. You're absolutely bonkers. You got squirrels in your head. However many other ways I can come up with to say it. You're crazy. Get a grip on yourself. Get a hold of yourself. Stop taking up everybody else's time with your stupidity. Please. No, I'm talking to you, Isaac. No, I'm kidding. Just kidding. Say it if you're paying attention. All right, so we got more coming up. Hang on.
The TJ Ritchie Show on News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WBT.
Pet hair can cause havoc on your washer and your dryer. You know, you've done a load of laundry, you've washed it, you take it out of the dryer, and then you realize it's still covered in hair. That's because pet hair can get clogged up in your washing machine. Luckily, there is an awesome product called the Pet Hair Dissolver. It's an enzymatic formula that you just dump in your washing machine, and it actually eliminates the pet hair, resulting in cleaner, fresher clothes. Here's how to get it. Go to tjritchie.com/deals. That's where you'll find the Pet Hair Dissolver. Again, it's tjritchie.com/deals. It's the best price you'll find on it anywhere.
Identifying liberalism and mocking it relentlessly. This is the TJ Ritchie Show on News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WBT.
Here we are. America's coolest conservative on America's #1 talk show. We just received that word that we have made it to #1. Thank you. Has it even been 3 months that I've been doing this show, and it's already the most popular, most successful, handsomest talk show in all of America? What is it? If you listen to Mark Levin that comes on after this show, he'll say something about himself that's really complimentary. Like he'll brag on himself or something, then he'll go, "But that's not me. That's you." Yeah, we're #1 on the New York Times bestseller list, but that's not because of me. That's because of you. That's what I'm saying. I'm the new #1 talk show host. And most athletic in America. Thank you very much. So the weather was so bad today when I was coming in from the Mooresville. I had to take my wife to pick up her car. It was getting some brakes put on it. Somebody had beaten the brakes off of it. And so it was raining and windy so hard, and she said, "There are big sticks out in the driveway." So some limbs had fallen across the driveway. Now, I drive a 4-wheel drive, and it could have easily rolled over these limbs, but I knew she wasn't going to have it. Those had to be moved out of the driveway, and I mean, it is pouring. So I start looking around the garage to find an umbrella to go move these sticks out of the driveway. And then she starts yelling at me that I can't get an umbrella because I get struck by lightning. People get struck by lightning all the time with the umbrella. Metal. It's metal. And I was like, well, if you think that I'm going to walk out there with no umbrella, with it raining as hard as it is, to move some sticks out of the driveway, then we're not on the same page here. And then you know what she did? My son's in here. You know what she said then? What she always does?
What?
To try to make me feel little. She said, well, fine, I'll go do it.
Classic. Classic.
Like I'm going to stand there in the dry garage while she walks out into the driveway in a torrential downpour, moving sticks. She always does. Well, I'll do it. I should have just let her.
Yeah.
Like, go ahead.
Let her one time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd never hear the end.
No.
Mm-mm. So then, I mean, it was really bad coming in to the big dangerous city for work. And I don't know. I keep the blinds closed in here because I'm so damn famous. You know, you got the paparazzi out there just trying to get a peek in and getting up close to the window and all that makes me nervous. And so I don't know if it's still raining or not. I think maybe if there were an information station I could tune into that had the weather and see if you can find me one. Have they done the weather since I've been on here tonight?
Yeah, at the quarters.
Yeah, so what? That would be 4 times an hour about?
Well, they do it at 15 and 45.
Oh, okay. Okay, I get it. Because in radio, we have a top, bottom, and quarters. That's what we have. But technically, on the quarters would be at 12, 3, 6, 9, and 12 again on the clock every 15 minutes. Radio people are dumb. Dumb and trashy. So trashy radio people.
That's my middle name, dumb and trashy.
Actually, it's not the same. Let's say it's not the same profile with the people that work on this radio station and the ones that work on the music stations that I've always worked for. It's a different dynamic. You know, people who work on this station aren't, you know, in the clubs all the time, acting a fool everywhere we go. You know, they want to be home. It's like the other night when we called Pete Callender. He was like, what? Call me at home? What are you doing? I was like, I get you. I'm not going to lie. I wish I was at home most of the time when I'm up in here. Y'all get on my damn nerve. I'm not talking to you 11 listeners. I'm talking to me, the hands in here. But you know what? I've got a feeling that they're never going to let me go from the station now. I mean, they're like, oh my goodness. We didn't realize when we could make a deal with him that he would come in and do a show for free, that we were getting what we got. What a find is what they call me. Find. That's my nickname in management here. Find. What a find we got. Woo. Whoa. I've heard the legends of him, but I never witnessed it myself. But he's got it. And I appreciate it. But, yeah, I think they're going to hold me here like cult leaders would. Because why wouldn't they? I've already turned this into the number one talk show in America in history. For free. Didn't cost them a dime. So now they can go around bragging about the radio station having the number one talk show host in the world. The award they gave me is a globe that just says number one on it. I'm supposed to speak at the UN, but I'm not going up there. I don't like the UN. All right, so keep up with what's happening through the weekend because it's supposed to be a lot cooler this weekend, but maybe rainy. So go out and touch some mud, as the kids say. They say touch grass, but it's going to be raining, so go touch mud. You know, you got to live a life. You got to get out there. You can't be like these freak liberals that we feature on the show all the time who just sit in their beds making videos thinking that they know about politics and the world and all of that, and they've only heard it from their drunk uncles at the family reunion. You know, that hippie uncle still walks around with a shepherd's stick because he thinks he's in the mountains and he's not. You know them dopehead uncles, liberal uncles. I never had one of those because I come from a good thinking family, not no dang liberal family. Maybe a good time if you want to go to Vegas if you're into the gambling, because it says that their tourism has plummeted. Visitors abandon the gambling mecca. It's because they're gambling at home. That's what's going on. All right, Mark Levin's coming up next. Remember, God loves you and ain't nothing you can do about it.
It's TJ Ritchie on News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WBT.
So I know you've heard me talk about Eric Javits hats that I've purchased in the past, but I'm telling you, they have the cutest bags. I just got the mini duffel in bronze, and I also want it in silver. It's regular $375, and I'm here to tell you it's final sale. It is on sale, and with code TJ, it's way under $100. You're not going to be disappointed. Go to tjritchie.com/deals, code TJ for 21% off, and shop it up because that code will get you some good deals.
Hear the TJ Ritchie Show every weeknight at 7 Eastern. Stream it live at tjritchie.com or listen later as a podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or My Media Center at tjritchie.com. You'll be so glad you did, hopefully. That's tjritchie.com.